What you know good today, my friends? Hey, look, I'm gonna cook my dad's big herb, also known as his meatball stew. It's nothing fancy, nothing major. There's meatball stew recipes out all over the internet and on TikTok. But this one's special to me because I made a cookbook with my dad and my mom's recipes that all of my brothers and my nieces and family members who really enjoyed their cooking, compiled it into a cookbook only for my family. They're not for sales. I'm not looking to sell anything. I'm not going to sell it, but I will share the recipe with you here. And it's a simple meatball stew. There's nothing real fancy about it. So come along, let me show you how he made his meatball stew. It's called Big Herb's Meatball Stew. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get about 8, or maybe depending on the size you want to make your meatball stew, we're gonna do 6 to 8 cups of water. I got my little teapot. I'll just tip it over. It already had water in here, already heating up, but about 6 to 8 cups, or if you want a larger size, 8 to 10 cups. Next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and get 3 pounds of ground chuck is what he uses. You can do a mixture of pork and beef. You can just do pork, you can do turkey, whatever you want to do, but he used ground chuck. That's what we're going to use. I got 3 pounds here. I was going to make a little smaller batch, but I'm going to put some in the freezer for my daughter who's away from college. Freezes really well, and that way she'll have a little bit of taste of home back there as well. 3 pounds of ground beef, and then we're going to add some seasoning in here, and let me show you how to do that. All right, in his, he will have your 3 pounds of ground chuck. You're going to do 2 whole eggs, no shells. And you're gonna do 2 to 3, depending on how much you want, heaping spoons of garlic. I'm gonna do 2 and a half. Let's say 2 and a half. That's what I'm gonna do. And then he used McCormick seasoning only with salt and black pepper. And he says you can use about, I don't know, he just really didn't say. He just puts stuff in there. Just season to your liking. I'm just gonna cover a little bit. He also used some cayenne. Don't put too much cayenne because it's a little hot. I'm gonna use the blend of salt, pepper, and garlic. The Kinnerts, I'm gonna use that instead of just salt and black pepper. And then a half a cup of breadcrumbs. Sometimes my brain works and sometimes it doesn't, and apparently it didn't at that point in time, trying to figure out what breadcrumbs were. But anyway, what you can do is you can just mix all that. Go ahead and wash your hands. I've already washed mine. Just mix this up, and then we're gonna form some balls in just a little bit, okay? I guess I need to show you how I was mixing it. I did re-wash my hands, just so you know, because I did touch these bottles. But I just use one hand, and I just go in and I just twist until everything is incorporated. Now, if I have too much meat mixture, I'll just put it in the freezer. And I already have seasoned ground beef. But I think I'm gonna have enough to maybe do that. All right, that's nicely coated. You want all the seasoning to go through every bit of this meat. You want all that garlic to be evenly distributed. Let me finish this up and I'll be right back. Bring my water to a boil. I'm going to be adding my roux in this. You are gonna need a roux base for this dish. I was boiling my water while I was getting my mixture of ground beef. You can actually make your own roux if you choose to. I choose not to because I like Miss Savoie. She is so good. You can order this on Amazon, I'm sure, or you can order it somewhere online. This tastes just like homemade roux. I don't care who you are. Well, I should say I don't care who you are. A lot of people prefer homemade roux. I can't tell a difference except for when I make duck gumbo. I make my roux out of the duck fat from the duck. So I do that. But for like chicken gumbo and chicken sausage gumbo, any kind of stew, I just use a jar roux. It's just easier. So don't come after me. That's what I'm gonna do. And my dad used it. This is what my dad used. He did not make his own roux. So I'm doing as my dad did. Get 3 heaping spoons of roux, sauteed inside your water. We're gonna let that dissolve. Okay, I moved to a bigger pot. And add a little bit more water in here, but what we want to do is we want to get that roux nice and dissolved into this water, into this hot water. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our seasonings, we're going to add some chopped onions, and then we're going to make our meatballs and we're going to stick them in here. A lot of people pre-fry their meatballs. My dad did not. He just made his meatballs, stuck them into this water, and let that broth build from the raw meat that's actually gonna cook inside the water, okay? Let me bring this up to a boil and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, we got our stew boiled, or roux actually, boiled. I turned the fire to probably between medium and low because I don't want this to boil over. I do use a wooden spoon when I do my stews because it helps with the foaminess of the roux. So what we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and put in 1 onion, 1 or 2 onions, however many white onions chopped up, however many you like. We'll put that in there. We'll go ahead and season our water, our stew, and my dad uses season all. So what we're gonna do is just put, and like I showed you on my previous videos, I just skim and cover the top. Or until your ancestors to say, that's enough, chef. A little bit of cayenne pepper. I will use salt and pepper in this as well. And I just used iodine, salt, and some fresh ground pepper. And then also I'm going to use my salt, pepper blend, and garlic blend. So we want this seasoned up. I don't want to season it too much. I want to wait till I get my meatballs in there because I do want to see how it tastes after that meatball is cooked. If I need to add more seasonings, I will. Get your ground beef, give this a stir, and then just start forming your balls, your meatballs. Just take a little bit. My wife likes hers small. My dad made some big old huge cat head meatballs, which we all like, but I'm gonna make some of different sizes. Let's make a meatball. Again, some people pre-fry these and get a nice little crust on these, but my dad just made them and sauteed it into the stew. And that way, once the ground beef starts cooking, it's gonna release all those juices into your water. This is 85-15. So I shouldn't have too much fat in here, but what I'll do is I'll just skim the fat off the top. So let me make my meatballs and I will be right back. All right, got all my meatballs done. That last picture that showed the size of my dad's meatballs that he likes to make them in. I'm gonna put this on a medium to high heat, probably more like a medium heat, on here and let this cook slowly. I'm gonna leave a crack, this is the wrong lid. I'm gonna put a lid on it, leave a little crack in it. I want my stew to get a little thick in here. So, but cook this till your meatballs are 165. About halfway through, what we're gonna do is we're gonna taste test and see what our seasonings are like and see if we need to add anything else. Let's say about 30 minutes. Let's see where we're at in 30 minutes, okay? All right, now while that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up 2 bunches of green onions. I'm gonna put some in my stew towards the end, and then I'm gonna put some on top as a garnish on my dish. And also I'm cooking some white rice to serve with it. So go ahead and get that done while this is all nice and cooking. Okay, let's talk for a little bit. So anybody can make anything they want and how they want to. If you want to add additional seasoning to this stew, go ahead. If you want to add extra vegetables, go ahead. This is just how my dad made our meatball stew. And he was known for Big Herb in Lake Arthur, Louisiana. But anyway, everybody loved their cooking. And so when my mom passed away when she was 56, unfortunately, really young. My dad passed away in 2017 at the age of 76, I believe. I had decided before he passed away to make a little small cookbook. I asked all my brothers and my nieces and my kids and the daughter-in-laws what was their favorite dish. And so I decided to make that book, and that's what this one is Big Herb's recipe box. Took all of those recipes while my dad was alive, asked him how he made it, and I made each one of those dishes and put in the cookbook and gave it to them for Christmas. It's very special. I encourage anybody who loves to cook or loves a family member who loves to cook, have them write the recipes down, do a little cookbook for your family, and pass on those great generations of cooking down. It's one of the best things I did. I don't regret it a bit. And he was thrilled of it. I wish my mom was alive to see it. But yeah, it was really, really cool. But we're gonna let this cook. Chop up my green onions I'm gonna garnish with, because you can't tell this fat man nut. This is what it looked like during the cooking process. Meatballs are browning up, getting all those flavors into that gravy. And you see it crusting on the side of here or just kind of drying up on the side. Go ahead and get that spoon and knock that roux off down there. That's the one from foaming. It actually kind of cooks onto the side. So go ahead and get that and get those flavors inside that pot. I like to stick my spoon just like that, because if it starts foaming, the spoon will actually kind of keep it down and not let it foam over. All right, we'll be taste testing in just a little bit. So excited. All right, it's been about 30 minutes. We're gonna check on our meatball stew, because you can't tell this fat man nothing. I can smell it so good. Get your facial, people, get your facial. Open those pores. Looking good. All right, I got some little crusties or some dry parts on the side. I'm gonna go ahead and get that all nice and done. Up with my roux spoon. This is a roux spoon. This is what you make roux with. Although I did not make this roux. People are gonna probably say, you didn't make a homemade roux. No, because my dad didn't, so I'm not gonna do it either. But that stew is thickening up nicely. And my dog's all excited. They're fighting for it. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? At this point in time, let me get a spoon so I can taste this. See if I need any extra seasonings in this thing. I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. You gotta blow it a little hot. That's just about perfect. It's short, and yes, I did go in there again. If I was cooking for you, I wouldn't do that, but I'm cooking for my family. It's okay. For me and my wife and my son and my daughter. I'm not gonna add anything right now. I'm gonna add my green onions because the green onions are gonna give extra flavor in here as well. Big old handful of green onions. Let this cook down a little bit. Stir that in. Those green onions are gonna give a nice flavor as well. The seasoning I think is spot on. I don't think I need anything else to it. Maybe a little heat, maybe a little bit more cayenne if I wanted to. My wife don't like it too hot, so I might not do that. I might add some cayenne pepper on my plate when I serve it up. Because right now, it tastes really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and test one of these big meatballs and see what temperature we're at while I'm at it. Remember what temperature we want it at? 165. And let's see where we're at. This meatball is at 182, so our meatballs are done. We are cooked. So let's let this really low heat. Let this simmer in here. Let those green onions add some flavors to this. I just heard my rice pot in the microwave ding. So supper's almost ready, folks. Put this on, let it simmer for, let's say 15 minutes. Be back in 15 minutes. It's done. Big herbs and meatball stew on. You can't tell if Fat Man Nuthin is actually done. Let's plate this sucker up. Let's get some rice on the plate. Just like this. Got my rice. Next thing we're gonna do is get our meatball stew. This nice thick gravy. Thick like my thighs and my belly. And just pour that on there. Look at that. Oh my Lord. Look how pretty that is. Get one of them big old meatballs. Right there. And then get some green onions. Sprinkle from high. Get you a spoon. Lean in. You know, isn't it crazy how something so simple, such an easy dish, can bring back wonderful memories? My dad was an amazing man. My mom was an amazing woman. Both amazing cooks. I was raised in a great family. Man, makes me want to tear up a little bit. You gotta try this. Can't tell if Fat Man Nuthin. Love y'all. Bye. I was getting verklempt for a little bit. I had to stop. So I'm back. I composed myself. I got myself together. Because I didn't try the meatball. Dang it. Childhood history. Mmm. So good. Seriously, give this recipe a try. Use Savoy's roux or make your own. But this is very good comfort food. Taking me back to my childhood. Love you guys. Bye.